Be sure to subscribe for your chance to win a custom leather playmat when we hit 2,500 subscribers. Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. We've got Andraj on Food Chain versus Tyler on Ant. Two combo decks. Definitely different speeds. Ant is a lot faster, but Food Chain does have Force of Will. One of the many Force of Will-based combo decks right now in Legacy, particularly in blue-green. You got Food Chain, Eureka Tell, Greater Good, Allurin. Like, this is just a bunch of blue-green kind of A-B combo decks where if you get your two things together, you're going to be in really good shape, if not just straight up winning on the spot. And there's definitely trade-offs with all of those. You know, if you're playing Show and Tell versus Allurin, it's kind of dangerous. Like, they can actually kill you with the Allurin very, very easily if you give them a free permanent. And a Narset coming down here for Andraj. It's going to dig potentially to find a Food Chain. Oh, I didn't actually see him activated there. We've got a Thoughtseize. I don't think he did. So Thoughtseize going to take out the Brainstorm, leaving Walking Ballista and Manipulate Fate. And I'm actually not sure what that other card is. Narset now ticking. Finding a Force of Will. And Birds of Paradise going to set up this Manipulate Fate. And, you know, this sets a clock. Might be Tyrant Scorn, that gold card. No, it's got power and toughness. Is it Icefang Coatl? It's probably Icefang Coatl. Let's go with that. Let's assume it's a blue card, blue-green Icefang Coatl. And those Mist Hollow Griffins now in exile, which can potentially allow Andraj to start setting a clock. Just start casting them from exile. You know, if you do happen to get a Food Chain out, awesome. The game is over on the spot. But anything short of that, you can just start attacking for 3 a turn, and then 6, and then 9. I mean, it'll be over pretty fast. There's a Food Chain. And there we go. Infinite mana. So it went really fast, but what we got to see there is that 3 mana for the Food Chain, then Birds of Paradise tapping for a mana, exiling to the Food Chain for 2 mana, and thanks to the printing of Eternal Scourge, the Food Chain deck just so much more dangerous because you've got that 3 casting cost card in exile to then ramp you up to infinite mana and have your 4 mana Mist Hollow Griffins as well. But ultimately, because he had Walking Ballista in hand, that's just straight up lethal. You get infinite mana to be able to just cast your Walking Ballista for X equals a billion and then remove those counters for the win. I think Food Chain, a very fun deck, and makes good use of the creatures. So things like Icefang Coatl, really interesting. I'm not sure if Andraj is running any Euros. Doesn't really fit into it as well as it does in Allurin, but it's an interesting Magic card. Did just get banned out of Standard, though I'm not really seeing too much in the way of price movement. I think for the most part, Modern and Commander and Legacy were propping the price up a bit. I think people kind of baked in some expectations in recent months as we saw Euro continue to rebound from its pre-release high, kind of dropped off after the pre-release and kind of ramped up after that. And I think from that point on, people kind of had a little bit of a tempering based off of the potential for a ban. I mean, there's been so much good blue-green stuff, you know, Oko and Euro. Just somebody in R&D's got to be a Simic Mage. All right, so Tyler with the play, leading out with the Ponder. off of Underground Sea. Speaking of Underground Sea, we are giving one away in our Wednesday Night Legacy series. This minty fresh Underground is going to one lucky player at some point during the year. 2020, it's happening. We're giving that away, giving away Gaia's Cradle, giving away Mox Diamond. It is definitely time to get your webcam set up. You can use your smartphone or a traditional web camera and just join in the fun. You may actually see yourself featured on the channel. We got a Ponder again here for Tyler. Andraj, no acceleration, just a Misty Rainforest on his turn. A basic Swamp for Tyler. And a Duress. Solid enough turn here. We've got 3 lands, a Brainstorm, and a Force. The greediest play, taking the Brainstorm. However, Force of Will is taken. So dangerous with this hand, though. It's tough to say. It is tough to say. Like, obviously the Force of Will has to go before you can actually win. But I mean, Brainstorm could really improve this hand. So we've got a Carpet of Flowers, which is a surprising card to see brought in against Storm. Second main, triggering for a blue, Brainstorm, assembling the best combo in the game, fetch land plus Brainstorm. Andraj has kind of optimized his hand here. We'll see if he was able to find any more counter magic in the top 3. Tyler may have to kind of go for it here if he has the ability. Sometimes you walk into counters, but it's very often just going to get worse and worse for Storm in this type of matchup. An Infernal Tutor, revealing a Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. We're going to have a double ritual into it ad nauseum here. I'm loving the Pokemon energy here for Storm and Mana colors. And what do we have? Lion's Eye Diamond, so another Infernal Tutor. That LED, really the question mark there. When people use an Infernal Tutor to go get like another Dark Ritual, typically that means they have another Infernal in hand. And this should be a cakewalk from here with a double Ritual in the bin. Each one of those Infernal Tutors able to generate additional Storm and Mana. So actually he had 1 extra, so basically that could go get a Cabal Ritual or Lion's Eye Diamond, and then add 2 Storm, 1 for the Infernal, 1 for the LED, and then get an extra mana out of it. That is one of the nice shotgun kills that Ant is capable of. You can actually do that on the first turn, which is really unsettling for people that have not been around it for 27 years. I mean, Vintage, you've been able to kill people on the first turn for a very long time. I mean, you could always channel Fireball people since the very beginning of the game, so just kind of a thing you accept when you sit down at the table is anything can happen. But in Legacy, people are not necessarily acclimated to playing against a good Storm player with any type of frequency. And in that case, sometimes it's really nerve-wracking to just know that you could just be dead before you even draw a card. Sometimes people mulligan way too aggressively, trying to make sure that they have, a Force of Will no matter what. I mean, there's certainly something to be said for the strength of having a Force in your opener versus Ant, but you do need a decent hand to surround it. It's not like they can't just duress a single force out of the way and kill you easily. Really, one of the major improvements for Storm, I would argue, is the printing of Veil of Summer. It's difficult to say holistically if it helps Storm or not. It probably hurts them because it's good against them as well, but you know, in a vacuum, Veil of Summer, hell of a magic card for protecting your hand and for pushing your spells through. And you can just run out a Veil of Summer just naked, just throw it out there, and if it resolves, just win the game. We've got a Rest in Peace and an additional bird. And Tyler's going to need to win using Ad Nauseam in all likelihood, which is still very doable, especially with the not exactly aggressive start of 2/0 power creatures here for Andraj, but that can turn around very, very quickly. This is a combo deck. Force of Will mana represented with the 2 birds and some lands. Tyler with Infernal Tutor. This time revealing Cabal Ritual. That can't... Oh, that's not great. That's just unfortunate. It's not what you actually want to be revealing when there's a Rest in Peace on board. Cabal Ritual only netting 1 additional mana. So, I mean, maybe he'll be able to Ad Nauseam next turn. That would be nice. Manipulate Fate. Getting the setup of Eternal Scourge and Mist Hollow Griffins. And is Tyler going to... Oh, he's going to Brainstorm first. I'm assuming he drew the Brainstorm off of the Manipulate Fate. It's very often just ideal to take advantage of that extra shuffle effect. Sequencing can be so crucial in Legacy. And a Narset. And now he's going to dig and try and find a Force of Will. But no, it's just a Manipulate Fate. So, I mean, this signals Ad Nauseam. Let's see if he's got it. Cabal Ritual for 3. Four, 5. All in on the Ad Nauseam. And it is resolving. So we've got a Lion's Eye Diamond. Past in Flames. That's not a very good pull. Double LED. And the Storm right now is 3. I mean, it doesn't look... I didn't catch a tutor. I feel like he has to have a tutor in order to do anything here. Because the... Whoa, I may be missing something here. Let's see where this goes. We've got a Swamp LED, Storm 4, 5. Storm 6 with 3 black. Thoughtseize, taking out that lone card in Andraj's hand. Oh, I guess Force of Will wouldn't actually have been super relevant. Oh, we did have an Infernal. I didn't actually catch that. So there we go. So this should be fine. He's got 6 mana, and he can actually grab Infernal for another Infernal, and then Infernal for the Tendrils, if need be. And it looks like the next turn was going to be an infinite amount of mana. But even that wouldn't have actually been enough, as putting out a bunch of attackers there wouldn't have been sufficient to stop that onslaught, as Tyler pulls one out. Despite Rest in Peace and Narset on board, Ad Nauseam does not draw cards. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.